Ms. Robinson, could you please call the roll?
Ms. Chen,
Here.
Mrs. Donner,
Here.
Mrs. Hunley,
Here.
Mrs. Ortego.
Here. And can I have a motion to allow Mr. Hosang to attend via electronic communication?
Madam Chair, I move that we allow Mr. Hossain to attend via Zoom,
Electronic communication.
automated communication,
Electronic.
electronic communication.
Thank you, Mrs. Hunley. Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Mrs. Chen. Ms. Robinson?
Ms. Chen,
Aye.
Ms. Donner. Aye. Mrs. Hunley,
Aye.
Mrs. Ortego.
Aye. Welcome, Mr. Hosang. Can you hear us? Can you hear us, Mike? Can't hear us?
You should just call him on a cell phone or something.
All right, a minute.
Okay. So I can call it.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Okay. 1 minute. I'm just going to tell him to call my phone and we'll put him on speaker. Oh.
You say something, Sarah?
Now I hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I've taken off the speakers.
That's good.
now,
Okay. All right. There
but-
we go.
Okay.
Oh, you don't need to call my phone then. Okay. All right. Now, can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Chair, I move to approve the agenda as presented.
Thank you, Mrs. Henley.
I second.
Thank you, Ms. Chen.
Ms. Chen,
Aye.
Mrs. Donner,
Aye.
Mr. Hosang,
Aye.
Mrs. Hunley,
Aye.
Mrs. Ortego.
Aye. All right, and now I need a motion to go into closed session, please.
Madam Chair, I move that the Williamsburg-James City County School Board convene in closed session for review and discussion of appointments, change in status, leaves of absence, separations, academic and athletic stipends, and associated actions pursuant to the personal exception at Section 2.2-3711A1 of the Code of Virginia.
Thank you, Mrs. Donner. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Henley.
Ms. Chen,
Aye.
Mrs. Donner,
Aye.
Mr. Hosang,
Aye.
Mrs. Hunley,
Aye.
Mrs. Ortego.
Aye. All right, we are in closed session.
us know when you're ready.
Okay. I'm now reconvening the meeting of the Williamsburg-James City County School Board. Can I, that's me, have a motion to certify closed session, please?
Madam Chair, I certify that to the best of each member's knowledge, the Williamsburg-James City County School Board, while in closed session, discussed only public matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements as stated in Virginia law, and that only such public matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered.
Thank you, Mrs. Donner. Is there a second?
A second.
Thank you, Ms. Chen.
Ms. Chen,
Aye.
Mrs. Donner,
Aye.
Mr. Hossein,
Aye.
Mrs. Hundley,
Aye.
Mrs. Ortego.
Aye. And can I have a motion to approve personnel actions?
Madam Chair, I move to approve personnel actions as presented.
Thank you, Ms. Chen. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Henley.
Ms. Chen,
Aye.
Mrs. Donner,
Aye.
Mr. Hossein,
Aye.
Mrs. Hundley,
Aye.
Mrs. Ortego.
Aye. All right, we're adjourned.
Thanks very much.